Okay. Hey guys, it's Team Patriot Fitness. Today is November 29th, and I want to welcome you to this amazing call and to prepare you for this week. We have a huge week ahead of us and a lot of opportunities in the next 24 hours to do this right. So we have 24 hours. I want you to think of this. 365 days, 365 new beginnings. So if you feel like you've been a failure, don't feel that. You just have to restart every day as a new day. And I want to just remind new coaches that we have this basic system in our team to help you and help your coach. As we go through and we have questions on everything, I have taken in advice on a top coach, that we have a chain of command in our team. If you want to relate to military, I learned it and it definitely helped me out to be more independent. I want everyone to basically just get a notepad and get your pens out, ready to type. I'm ready to write this out. So when you have a question, we're going to ask you to go through a couple of steps before you ask your upline coach. Number one, I am going to ask you, have you posted the question in the team page? 2, have you gone onto live chat? Or have you called coach relations? 3, have you asked any other coaches about this? So those are the 3 things I want you to do before you come to your upline sponsor, because it's going to make you more knowledgeable. If you know how to navigate your back office, if you know how to use the resources, and then you ask your upline sponsor. And that's just the chain of command. I want you to write this down because this is something I want you to pass down to your coaches. Chain of command within the team Beachbody, because there's only one of you, and there's a lot of little people that Beachbody has hired to answer your questions. So let's use our minions from Beachbody. And if you don't know what the link is, I hope if one of you have it, and if you can post this, you can Google the link if you can do this for me. Post it in our chat box. And you can also do the same for your customers. If your customers are having issues and you haven't solved it with them, just tell them, here's a direct live chat link, and you put in your information and ask you coach or customer. It takes care of your problems. So I hope that helps. And today I did a couple of GSR calls, so I'm on fire. I had 6 hours in the car to catch up on all my work. And Caitlin's smiling because we had a great call. So goals set on the last phone call. I'm going to run through these and remind you all because we work as a team. Nicole wanted Ruby and Success Club 5. Brittany, she wanted Diamond, Success Club 12, 3 coaches added. Tammy wanted to finish her bio, finish workouts. CJ's waiting on Body Beast. I know he got it. He showed me a picture. Thank God you got that thing. So happy. And he was also wanting to answer a lot of questions, which is amazing, and he's diving right on in. I hope your house situation is going well with the fire and you not living because of the cat on the house. Yeah. Caitlin wants Diamond, Success Club 10. We just talked about that together. Milena wanted to hit Emerald and Success Club and focus. And Kayla wanted Emerald and stick it through this month and hit Success Club 3 to 5. Now you can answer to yourself if you did that. And I will send out a text message later and following up. Jared, if you want to just type in your goals here on the chat box, that'd be great. If you want me to keep accountable on you, you're also our other Diamond coach on this call. Thank you for coming. And next, I have a schedule so I don't get off track. I want to talk to you a little bit about hammer and chisel. Tomorrow morning, dun, 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 we have a national wake-up call, and it is specifically on this. Yes, the launch is huge, and yes, we are people that we all can give our coach ID out and links to everyone. Now, as a Diamond call last week, we kind of decided that we don't want to be spammy. We do want to leak and tell our people, our network, that we have Hammer and Chisel coming out, and it'd be great. But how do we approach this without being spammy? Yes, you can go ahead and just Jared typed in the chat box. Just go ahead and put in this month's and like tomorrow's goals, and we'll go into December. 1, personal messages and relationships. That's our vital behavior, is connect. That's how we can avoid being spammy and being genuine and knowing this person and understanding, like a doctor asks you your symptoms, how can you give this diagnosis of what kind of fitness program this person needs? And if hammer and chisel is an option, I would give it to them. I wouldn't focus on selling hammer and chisel to everyone. It is an advanced program. It is things that I suggest that someone who is revved up and truly can prepare themselves to access weights and to meal prep. So if you know someone is not in that stage to meal prep, give them 21-day fix. Just a heads up. Give them that, and then they can graduate on to the hammer and chisel. I'm going to unmute Jared right now, and I want your opinion on how you are going to market hammer and chisel.
I'm just going to basically be doing the workouts and just sharing what it is, like what I like about it. I like to show the workouts that are not typical, like something that's different that catches somebody's eye. And then I just like to just say what I like about it, to be honest, I've done Body Beast.
Yeah.
I've done 21 streams. So I could refer a lot to Body Beast, and I could just say Body Beast is very macros and it's all written in a book form. And I could already say that just the containers is a big deal, because when you're doing bodybuilding and you're trying to put that in a container form, that is such a huge headache. So I think that's a big thing that I want to market.
Is that it saves you time?
Yeah, because it was so chaotic to try to measure everything not using containers for 60 days or however long. I think it's 90-day program.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. CJ is probably, he's like, yep, I just entered Body Beast. So if you guys want to connect on that, that's a great resource for you. So we have a new coach here. Awesome. And so we also discussed as diamonds that we were going to do if people buy hammer and chisel, like opening day, we're just going to put them in a regular group, correct? And we're going to incorporate them in our groups, like Slim Down for Santa group. And then we're actually going to be doing a January group, correct? I'm pretty sure that's
what she was saying.
That's Micah and Diamond groups. We can do that, but it just depends on how many people do this. So we are fluid. We're not. I want to make sure that we hit our goals and we have these deadlines, but we are fluid. So okay. Thank you, Jared. That's amazing. I appreciate your input and being the other male on this call and Diamonds. Thank you for jogging my memory. I'm going to put you, can you mute yourself? I can't find you because you're on the big screen. Okay. Next, write the date down. November 30th. Oh, that's tomorrow. That's our first day of our Slim Down to Santa challenge group. I have posted 4 different days, and I actually had Gabrielle post today. There is a need for a schedule. So in the chat box, I want you to put in if you want to take a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. I just need 6 coaches to post. It's overwhelming. If you're a brand new coach, don't worry about this. So right now, if you can put in the chat box, we're gonna figure this out tonight as well. I'm gonna make a group message of the Slim Down to Santa group and label it. Thank you, Caitlin. And so we're gonna hammer this out. Caitlin, I'm gonna put you down. Just like our old challenge group, and just like how Brittany doesn't put together a calendar, because I feel like that really helps everyone to know, okay, this is my day. I'm going to have this alarm for 30 days. It's my day. That's the last thing. This Slim Down to Santa group, this is going to be a hard group because why? It's the holidays. So I want you to put extra attention into encouraging and preparing your people. This first week must be a very focused week. If you're in the group right now, we still have 2 days left, and I will take control. Sunday is Nicole. Okay. I will totally back you all up on this current challenge group for a Thankful Thanksgiving. Do not worry. But if you have brand new challengers, I encourage you and implore you to put a sticky note on your computer and be like, okay, this person is not independent. They need help literally step by step. just get on a phone call and hammer it all out. Jared, it's Friday. Okay. So we have, the schedule is still going out right now. We have Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday open. So if anyone else wants to take on the day, don't worry, no pressure. So goals in the group for Slim Down to Santa. It ends, okay, it starts the 30th, and it goes through for a long time. We are flexible with holidays, obviously, especially if you are Jewish. There's Yom Kippur, or I want to say, what is it? It's a holiday. So we are flexible. We are going to focus on encouragement and focus on how they want to feel at the end of 30 days. When you talk to someone and you're engaging with someone about this challenge group, probably tonight or tomorrow before the end of the month at 9 p.m. PST or 12 midnight, that's when the cutoff is for our goals for this month, you want to talk to them, how do you want to feel before the new year? How do you want to feel before Christmas? Do you want to feel way behind? Or can I help you balance this holiday season? Because we all know that we need accountability. You guys keep me accountable. So write that down. Focus on how does this person want to feel? What are their symptoms and how can I help them? And is it 30 days of free streaming? Are they going to really use it? Or is it a meal plan? Is it Slim and Six? What are these problems? And how am I going to assist them and encourage them and implement? And yes, we have the goal of the 3 Lives Club. So, and last, I want you to write this down. Slim Down for Santa group. I have a bottom line. I have a no, like there's no excuses. Every day, I want a coach in the group to comment on someone, on their own challengers, tag your people, first thing. But I want you to comment on someone who is not your challenger. Because I feel like they really love hearing from other people as well. And it really would it would be really special. And I've made a couple of times I've tagged like my downlines people if I know that they're having a hard time, my downline coaches. That's fun. But really comment it and look at what they're doing. I see a lot of Jared's people who are really making gains. And then Connie, oh my gosh, she's Milena's aunt. These are people that are changing their lives. This is a big deal. And as much as we can get them to post, know that I go into every challenge and prepping this person to be a coach. So we want them sharing about their journey in our group so they have confidence to share. We are planting the seeds and doing the measurements, and every time we add someone to the group, we're preparing them to be a coach. So when we offer it, it's not like, what? Me be a coach? What? No, wait. They've already done the work. They've already been they've transformed, and they've done the work, and it's a very natural process of offering them. So that's what I have. That is 17 minutes into our call. I'm going to ask you all to take a moment and just soak that all up. And if you have a question, please raise your hand. I'm going to unmute Kayla. Mute audio. Unmute. Caitlin, are you good to unmute, or you want to stay muted?
Muted? Muted, yeah.
Okay. And then CJ, I'm unmuting you for questions. Milena, can I unmute you? Yeah? Okay. And then, oh, hi, Jill. How are you? Good to see your face. You've got an East Coaster. And Colleen's on. Oh, yeah. This is all good stuff. And I'm unmuting Jared. Okay. Start with your questions. I know someone has a question.
I missed the first part, so I don't think I should have a question.
No, you're okay. Do you have your power of threes?
No. I have my old planner.
Okay, good. I see anything. So we went on with the hammer and chisel. Does anyone, have you watched the link on the hammer and chisel with the Zoom chat with Autumn? So
No.
I took a couple of notes, and she wanted to explain the science behind hammer and chisel. So as a trainer, they do this SSP pattern: stabilization, strength, and power. They rotate through this. So if you're talking to someone about hammer and chisel, there's a lot of science behind it. They also don't include all workouts in the first couple weeks. You may see a workout once, and then it'll rotate through, and in 3 weeks you may see that workout because they're rotating through stabilization period. And then they're going to go into strength, and then they're going to go into power. So know that Siggy and Autumn are they're very good at what they do. They both have come from a competitive background. So if you know someone who is a gym rat, you know someone who really wants to chisel the body and they're not really a beginner, I would really keep that in mind. It is not a Slim and Six workout. It is not like something you're going to give someone who is very, very much timid to entering the workout scene. It's going to be very intimidating for them. But if you have an aggressive person who has already kind of fiddled around with weightlifting and stuff and really wants to focus, I suggest this is the case. Especially for those who have done 21-day fix, regular or extreme, that would be a really good outlet for them to see change. And they get both best of both worlds. And this is a great couples workout because you have a male and a female trainer, and because it's not just Shalene Johnson, who's amazing, and I love her, and I'm a live fitness instructor with her program, but I would market it as a great couples thing. And plus, 2 are better than 1 at home for accountability. My husband helps me all the time. He motivates me. We don't do the same things. But as a couples workout, or if you have a best friend who's a guy who works out, whatever you have going on, I would definitely keep that in mind. Does that help everyone? A little bit more about hammer and chisel?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jared, I wanted to pick your brain too. For men and women, obviously, we are most majority women. How would you say, as we reached our network into males, because I know a lot of Naval Academy grads are all males, how would you say if you got approached by a female on hammer and chisel, how would you feel? Would it be kind of weird for you?
No, most of my customers and coaches are women.
Okay.
Only a couple of guys.
Okay.
For me, it's normal.
It's normal for you? Okay. And that's where I have a fear, sometimes even my own self, and even engaging. But I have had some friends. If I am friends with them beforehand, I went to college with them, I have no problem. But as a married woman, I don't really engage with like male strangers. It's just not okay with my book. And that's really up to you. I'm going to give you a little advice. Instagram men. I would totally not go there. I wouldn't go there. But,
For weirdos on there.
yeah, and you all have probably a lot of people left over in your warm market, which is the people that you interact with probably in the range of the span of 30 days. You probably have enough people that you don't need to go into the stranger zone yet. So just FYI. Game plan is tonight I'm going to let you guys off early because this is our night. Who has already posted a opportunity, last chance to join the Slim Down to Santa group? If you have, just put your hand up in the air. Okay. Colleen, you have, and Nicole. Unmute yourself if you've gotten responses.
I do, but the challenger that wants to join me can't start until December 8th, so then I know you saw, that's why then I posted for December 8th because she can't anyway, so I'm like, well, I'll start like my next one until then. She won't be able to like get all of her stuff and everything like that, but I'm going to add her to the challenge anyways, just to get her started.
Yes, and on demand too. So which program did she get?
She's going to do the 21-day fix.
Okay. So I encourage you, like Jared just put on the chat, have her do the workouts with us. If she's got the challenge pack already?
I'm supposed to reach out to her tonight to walk her through it.
Okay. I would do that right when you get off the phone. And guess what? I would just say, I also don't want anyone to hesitate. If we have a start date, don't worry. Just throw the person in, unless it's like day 20 and we're going to be starting up a prep week soon. That's where I would use your judgment on, hey, let's walk you through. Holly, in your case tonight, I would totally get her signed up, walk her through, which is a great thing, which I think we talked about way back when, to make sure that all the hiccups are out of the way.
Yeah.
Stream and just do the workouts with us this week if she feels comfortable. That's a huge thing, because now these people who just double check if she's ever done the free trial. And
She hasn't.
And she doesn't have a Beachbody coach?
No.
Okay, good. So that's another thing is when you're talking to someone, we have these forms that you can send to people, but I always like doing it now. Right now, I'm not too overwhelmed to do it. Hey, have you ever had a Beachbody coach before? Have you ever done a program? Make sure you get that out of the way, because you may end up giving this person a link, and then all of a sudden you're like, 3 days later, where is this person? It's not showing up in my back office. Well, they probably bought a program in the past, and Beachbody assigns a free coach to every single customer. So just make sure, take a note, start. Just weave in your questions. Hey, have you ever done a Beachbody program before? After you've talked to them, just curious. And maybe they'll be like, I own 16 programs. Don't forget that question. If that is something you forget, put it on a sticky note. I'm a really big fan of sticky notes. Okay. Jared wrote something. What does follow-up sound like if they say not right now? You say, no problem. I totally understand. I actually host a new fitness challenge every month. Would it be okay with you if I put a reminder on my calendar to follow up with you in a few weeks to see if it's better time for you? I know you're going to love this group. Do you have any friends or family that you think would like to join my fitness challenge? If you have any friends that would like to plan for next month's group, you guys can do it together. That's a great spiel. All of you copy and paste his notes and just like go through it on your own time to soak it in. He is really good at following up, like a boss. The magic is in the follow-up and creating those relationships. I encourage you to be consistent. And also, I had a GSR call with Caitlin, a Getting Started Right call. And I decided now that no longer will I leave my coaches to just a 1 month of a weekly GSR call. Everyone's going to have a once a month GSR call, because I need to keep everyone in that consistent accountability group. So if you're my personally sponsored coach that is working the business, after your first month of weekly GSR calls, we will do once a month. Just FYI. The Authentic is really great. If you haven't checked the back by the team office of Team Inspiration or Team Patriot Fitness, there are scripts. If you get like cotton mouth on your computer, you're like, oh my gosh. Google, YouTube, and our team file. Go into files, you click on it, and then there's a bunch of resources. So last minute, any questions? We have a couple more minutes because I really want to keep it.
No.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
No.
Hold on, honey. Okay, so basically with work last week, the last 2 months, all my business has just fallen apart because I've been working like 55 hours plus every week. And I think I told you this before, my like original coach partner, whatever, success partner, she all of a sudden like backed out and then decided to start selling because it was too salesy to do Beachbody and share your story with somebody. So then she decided to go join Stella and Dot and is literally like selling stuff on all her accounts. So I'm like, want to scream. But now, and she was my only personally sponsored coach. And I was like, I invested all this time into her over the last 3 months. And she's like a good friend of mine. But now I kind of am just at a loss of like, okay, all of my people that I've been thinking would be good coaches and whatnot, like I've just lost steam on how to move forward because okay. I feel like I have to start all over again.
Okay. All right. So what I would say is every single coach that is in a stump, I would dive head into personal development, head in. I would take that And it's a hard thing to swallow. And I've had quite a few people walk away from me, and it's been very discouraging. But if there weren't for those bumps, like, basically filter all the people that don't have that really long-term drive.
Yeah.
Looking at your long-term goals, and I encourage you to post those goals up on your board. I want to cut my job. I need sanity, and I need to stay home with my boy because he means the most to me, and I feel like my time is abused. And you want this dream. You want this feeling of security and not being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So just go back to basics. Go into personal development. Go into Team Inspirations files. I would suggest any of Brene Brown's books. I would suggest any of John C. Maxwell's books on leadership. And I would start with a fresh, clean slate tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And start with the power of threes. If you ever feel like you're going to be just crushed, reach out to your upline coach or someone that you trust that's a diamond coach probably, that's really just been there for like a solid year at least. And they will give you probably the same advice. Now, Jared, I'm going to meet you. Yes, I'm using you. Jared, what would you say to this woman, this wonderful wife who has a child at home?
The girl that just talked?
Yes, that girl, Colleen.
Okay. I would just say read personal development, and one of the biggest things that I struggled with in the beginning is wanting it more than they wanted it themselves. And that was so hard for me to let go of, the fact that I wanted it for somebody and I'm progressing towards your goal. And what I like to do to my coaches is, like what Sarah said, is I like to remind them of their why. And when I do like my Getting Started Right calls, I also do emails, like Getting Started Right emails that has a bunch of questions on there. I keep all those notes in my files and everything, and I refer back to that, and I'll look at their whys, and sometimes I might have to remind them of their own why. Like, remember how bad you told me you wanted to bring home your husband because you never see your husband. Remember how, your husband doesn't get to see your kids, and you have family that lives in Florida, and you don't get to see them or the first day. And I'll remind them, and that sometimes brings them back to it. But sometimes if people's why, they just don't want it enough, there's not a whole lot you could do. Yeah. And sometimes it's something that's internal that they got to work through, and you just got to do what you can do and not know that it's not you. And that's why I say personal development's huge. It's not your fault. It's not something you did wrong.
Yeah.
That's amazing advice. Thank you.
Yeah. I think too, for me, I'm like, I felt like I was being selective with who I was really like leaning into and pushing towards, and like I didn't want to just like build with anybody. And so I'm like, okay, this is the perfect person. I waited, and I kind of like, I tried really hard not to be pushy. I presented coaching to a lot of people, and no one was interested, and nobody at all. And then finally it was like, okay, she's interested. And I took a lot of time to like go through all of that. And so I'm like, yes, I have this awesome person who I totally know. I've known her my whole life. This is like my perfect teammate. We're going to just kick butt. And now I'm like, okay, all right. Never mind. I'll just start over. And yeah, no, you guys are right. I appreciate it.
Is it okay if I say something real fast to her? I've had a girl that I swore was going to be a diamond. She built herself all the way to emerald. She was a hardcore runner. Something happened in her mind, and she just completely went off the opposite direction. And like her entire team went inactive or whatever. And I would say, and I'm sure almost any diamond could agree, I've literally probably made it to diamond 3 times because of how many people have gone inactive or quit. But it's just part of the game, and it's strong. And Sandy, my wife, the same way. I was like so close to 1-star, and then like over the weekend, like 4 of her coaches just went inactive. So I'm like, it's just how it is, and you just have to be strong. And so it's normal. We all go through it.
Yeah.
Right, and you kind of have to weigh why you're in this business and know that the numbers game with like rank and stuff, rank is also just a rank. And when you get into that rut of numbers and this and that, I love to remind myself of this. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again because my husband made me do this. This is staring at my face. Okay? I'm going to read it to you because it's really hard to read. It's my mission. Everyone, write this down. My mission statement. You don't have to do mine, but it's off of your mission statement to remind you why you're doing this. Help others reach their greatest potential and to be physically, emotionally, and spiritually thriving. Now, not everyone's going to be a spiritual person, but I would say, I would gather that people want to be emotionally and physically fit. Emotionally. How do you protect someone emotionally and like get them to dig into personal development? That's a mission. The next thing is my key tasks. 1, personal development. Extremely important. That's aside from like my one-on-one with God, but personal development. 2, team calls, you guys, because it makes me really happy to see your faces. 3, GSR calls. 4, power of threes. And 5, pray. I pray for you guys every day. And I pray for the team to really thrive and have a life that they want to live and how they're intended to live. And then the last thing is your end state. Don't forget that. Those are the numbers that prove the proof in the pudding kind of thing. End state, get 20 people by 2015 to their goal weight and have a complete transformation inside and out. Top 10 teams in Patriot Fitness. And then a 15-star diamond. That's like the end state, like the very, very end until I'm, called to something else. I don't want to give up until the end state's given, unless I'm like, doors are completely shut, like it's not meant for me, but that's not what I have been receiving. So if I highly encourage you to make that in front of your face, because this is us as human beings. Ding, 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 doubt, shame, guilt, fear, all these things just because life isn't perfect. I highly suggest doing that because it'll make you feel like a business person. It'll make you feel organized. Make your desk and your place of work feel like that you're at a very serious place. And then go and retreat. But if you don't have a place in your home or wherever you go work that doesn't feel like you're in it to win it, probably not going to work like you're in it to win it. If you don't have something to keep you on track at home, how can you give that to someone else? So let's work on us. Let's hit our goals. And last thing, before you sign out, type in your chat box your goals. You want to finish a personal development book? You want to, whatever your goals are right now, take a few hot seconds. I'm going to stop the recording right now. Over and out. That's the end of our call of a recording.